Good afternoon. All right, yeah, I got a tough spot to cover right after lunch, right? But I promise not to put you to sleep. I'm going to be covering some information today that may seem like a little bit of a newer concept for some of you. Maybe some of you are familiar with it. But I really believe after this session, you're going to be able to walk away and truly see how you'll be able to reach new markets with this concept that I'm going to be sharing with you. Like I said, my name is Reco McCambry. I'm the president and CEO of a company called Nove. We're right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in a city called Conyers. And we're a direct selling company that offers fintech solutions for consumers and small businesses nationwide, which include products and services like personal credit building, personal loans, and also online banking. We also offer business credit building, business funding, and consumer financing, kind of like the buy now, pay later product that the gentleman before lunch was talking about. Those embedded lending solutions, those digital banking, those types of products and services. And we also offer entrepreneurship opportunities as well. So we're going to jump right into this information, but what I want to do before we get into it, all right. So before I get started, I want to provide a little context for the conversation, sharing a little background about myself and also what we've been able to accomplish with this business model. I've actually been an entrepreneur since the age of 20 years old. I haven't had a job, I guess, in corporate America since the age of 21. Definitely blessed and fortunate since that point to have some great mentorship and be a part of some great opportunities over the course of the last several years. Actually didn't finish college initially when I was in it. I kind of took a break from college, got into entrepreneurship, and I went back at the age of 30 and finally earned my bachelor's degree. About 7 years after that, earned an MBA. I'm in one of the top programs in the country with a 4.0. Got selected to the #1 business honor society in the world, Beta Gamma Sigma. And a couple of years ago, I was inducted to the Forbes Business Council, and I write for Forbes.com in the world of business credit and also consumer finance, and you could find several articles on Forbes.com. Businessforhome.org voted me in the top 10% of direct selling CEOs out of over 550 globally. Just recently selected the marquee Who's Who in America and Who's Who in Business and Finance, and a huge advocate for small businesses working out of Washington, D.C. with the National Small Business Association. One of my greatest accomplishments to this date is getting a day named after me in my hometown of McDonough, Georgia. When I get into my background, we'll talk a little bit more about why that is significant. And also our company, Nove, last year hit Inc. 5000, become one of the fastest growing companies in the country. My wife is also here with me today, and she's the chief operating officer and also a co-founder, so give it up for her for being here with me in Las Vegas today. All right, so I'm here to talk about redefining the customer experience to reach new markets. And when you're thinking about redefining something, it's about taking a look at where you are now, taking a look at what you're doing, and thinking about doing something different, thinking about doing something that may be a little bit against the grain to help you reach customers that you never had before. And that's what we're going to talk about. So when we talk about reaching customers that we never were able to reach before, getting into a new market, Google actually defines new market as something that's created if your product enables a large number of customers to do something they were unable to do prior to you coming along. In a new market, customers and their preferences are unknown, and direct competitors are non-existent. So let's take a look at some of these new markets that are out there right now. Since this is Money 2.0, this is all about finance, this is all about insurance. Most of these statistics you're probably already aware of, but the question I want to ask you is how do we get to the individuals who are in these markets? 25% of households are unbanked and underbanked right now, according to the FDIC, okay, in a 2017 survey. That's 1/4 of Americans. In 2021, 48% of Americans did not own life insurance policies. That's almost half of the country, and that's according to Statista. Also, roughly 4 in 10 small business owners have not obtained any capital whatsoever, loans, lines of credit from any lending institution. And we're talking about on a nationwide basis. That's almost 50% of the businesses that are out there. And to the next point, half of Americans estimate the cost of life insurance at more than 3 times its actual cost. So not only are these consumers that are out there resistant to potential products and services they really don't know about, but they're also undereducated. They're misinformed. So the question you got to ask yourself is, how do we educate these individuals in those new markets? Because if it was easy to get to those individuals, then you probably wouldn't have such a hard time getting into that new market. Speaking of new market, the model that I'm going to share with you is an opportunity to be able to get into markets that you probably would have never been able to get into before. And the reason why I can say that, because I'm an example of it. I know you're looking at the screen right now and you're wondering, you know, such a cute kid, probably the cutest kid you ever seen in your life, all right? That kid is me, okay? That's my mother. I grew up in a single-parent household. I come from very humble beginnings. In fact, the neighborhoods I grew up in were called like the housing projects. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it's government-assisted living facilities, right? Because we were low to no income sometimes. And I come from a background where we had no entrepreneurs in my family. No one prior to me ever graduated from college. So the outlook on my life probably didn't look too promising. But because of this opportunity that I'm about to share with you, this business model, it was not only able to help me become one of the first in my family to graduate from college, go to higher education, and be able to become financially successful, but provide that same opportunity for people all across this nation. Also helping companies get into new markets. All right. Now, it was a company called Excel Communications, founded in 1988. This company actually became the fastest growing company to get on the New York Stock Exchange. The fastest growing company at the time to hit $1 billion in sales because of this business model. That was when they deregulated long distance and local phone service. Some of you probably remember that in the room. The introduction of voice over internet protocol back in the mid-2000s. You probably remember Vonage when they had their IPO. Everyone was so excited about this particular product. And that was something that we're able to reach new markets. Also, Lightyear Wireless, the company I was involved in at the time, 2007, was the first reseller of cell phone service. And millions of new customers generated through different organizations that I was able to build simply because of this business model and being able to redefine customer experiences. Many other companies obviously earn billions of dollars, even millions of dollars. But this model not only helped myself, but also thousands of individuals across the country position themselves to help companies reach new markets, and that's direct sales. Well, what is direct sales? Direct selling, if you look it up right now, if you Google it in Wikipedia, it says it consists of two main business models. The first is what we call single level marketing. That's where a direct seller may buy a product at wholesale price and they go out and sell it for retail, and of course they get to keep the profit. Or they have a service that they're selling through a platform like a website, and the company pays them a commission. But the second type of the business model they're able to leverage is actually going out here and finding other people who want to be involved with that company in direct sales as well, and they can build a direct sales organization and get paid from that. Now, some of the companies that you may be familiar with, especially some of you in here are familiar with the insurance industry, is Primerica. You probably heard of Primerica, multi-billion-dollar company. Have hundreds of thousands of independent direct sellers all across the country. You probably heard of World Financial Group. The founder of World Financial Group actually came from Primerica. And again, direct sales company, generated billions of dollars over the years because of this business model. eXp Realty, obviously, a real estate company, same exact business model, generated billions of dollars. A lot of you are probably familiar with Keller Williams. Obviously, real estate company, direct sales, okay? Legal Shield, formerly known as Prepaid Legal. Company generated billions of dollars since the 80s, okay? Using a model where they go out and direct sellers sell these legal plans, these prepaid legal plans to consumers and businesses, and they build teams of other direct sellers that do the same thing. And Ambit Energy. So all of these companies collectively have generated billions of dollars and redefined the customer experience to reach markets that these corporations would have probably never reached if it wasn't for that model. Well, I'm here to tell you that the next generation of finance and insurance, as you know, is fintech, right? Fintech and insurtech. But the deal is this. Everything is going to be done over the next few years on the phone. The gentleman before lunch was talking about how if you want to stay competitive in the marketplace for years to come when it comes to finance and insurance, you're going to have to figure out how to build a super app. You're going to have to figure out how to have a platform where you'll be able to appeal to the next generation of consumers, next generation of business owners. Well, imagine that even today, individuals that want to buy a home can get on their cell phone, start looking for the home, find the home, apply for a loan, and close all from their cell phone. If somebody wants insurance, they can get it now without having an insurance agent. They can just pull up the information right on their phone and get insurance without ever dealing with an insurance agent. Individuals can get loans without ever dealing with a loan officer right from their cell phone. And guess how many people have cell phones? Almost everybody. That's right. I know I heard you even though you didn't say it. I heard you. I heard you thinking it, okay? All right. So check this out. Why is this so important? Because as a company, imagine having meetings with people all across the country and you not being there, but meetings are going on in boardrooms. Meetings going on in living rooms. Meetings are going on in dorm rooms, and meetings are going on in video conference rooms every single day without you, any of your executives, any of your internal salespeople doing any of them, and your business growing by millions every single hour. That's because of this direct sales model. In fact, the Direct Selling Association actually had a survey done. It talked about 2020 consumer attitudes and an entrepreneurship study. 77% of Americans are interested in flexible entrepreneurial income earning opportunities. The millennials, Generation Z, you know, they don't want to go through the same journey as far as a career as their parents or their grandparents. They're interested more in working for themselves. They're individuals who I personally know, you know, that are in their 20s earning 6- and 7-figure incomes because of the opportunity to join a company that has a direct sales model to get their product and service out across the country. And these statistics are saying that right now. If you take a look at how somebody can get involved in this industry, if a company has a direct sales model, they want to push their insurance products, want to push their financial services products, and you take a look at all other opportunities that are present in today's society, not all of them, but maybe some of the main ones, direct selling is actually a way more affordable investment for someone to get started with and offer these products and services that we're talking about. As opposed to realtors, you're looking at $500 to $1,000 just to get started. But all the training you got to go through, the membership fees, the learning curve, gig workers, whether you know you're driving cars or whether you're doing Airbnbs or buying and flipping homes, all the way up to franchising, that could be $100K to $1 million. The average startup for direct selling companies and their opportunities are a little less than $100. Typically topping out around $500, but give somebody an entrepreneurship opportunity to take your product and service and sell it all across the nation. So that's something really to get excited about. These are some more statistics when we talk about direct selling in the United States. A 2020 industry review said that, you know, achieved record levels over the course of the last year, over $40 billion in retail sales from this industry alone. That's a 13% growth over the last year, with 7.7 million direct sellers and more than 41 million customers. So these are markets where those customers would have potentially never been reached before. Imagine having a great finance product, you know, embedded lending on a platform in an application in a city where individuals never heard of anything like that before, but someone in their family walks into the room and starts sharing that opportunity with everybody, and then there's 3 or 4 or 5 people that take part in getting a home loan or some type of business loan or some type of insurance product right there from that application. And of course, those consumers would have never probably been reached ever, but because of this business model that makes it possible. 7.7 million direct sellers across the country right now. A little less than 1 million are actually full-time, but 6.8 million are full-time. And a lot of those individuals that are full-time are earning really good incomes, and they're doing it on their own basis. These are independent contractors and not employees of these multi-million or multi-billion-dollar corporations. Out of the 41 million customers, 32 million are preferred customers where they're actually on some type of subscription plan, and they're getting a discount for buying the products and services from that company. And also 9 million are discount buyers, meaning individuals who can enjoy the product or service, but they also have an opportunity to sell it to other people, but most of them don't. They just enjoy the product or service. Now, if you look at sales by product category, this is really interesting because obviously we're in the service based industry. When you look at the billions that have been generated in this industry over the years, mostly were product-based companies. That's why when you look up there and you see wellness being at 37.4%, and you think of companies, you know, like a Herbalife, or like an Avon, or a Mary Kay, or like an Amway, meaning you heard those companies. Those are product-based companies. 20 years ago, services only accounted for less than 5% of direct sales. Now, as you can see, over the last year, they account for 22.6%. Over the course of the next 10 years, they're saying that services in the direct sales industry will exceed product sales. Why? Because of opportunities in fintech, because of opportunities in insurtech, and you're right now at the beginning of that trend and have an opportunity to take advantage of it, right? If you look at the sales by states, you know, it's pretty much the same all across the country with the exception of California and Texas. And of course, we know California and Texas being the largest states with the largest population. It only makes sense that they have the largest sales revenue coming in. When we break it down by ethnicity and you look at it, obviously this is being dominated, you know, 87% of those involved in direct sales across the country are white or Caucasian, 22% Hispanic, 8% Black and African American, and then it goes down from there. But the reality is across the board, there's many individuals that are getting involved with this. Why? Because it gives them an opportunity to not only take advantage of great products and services, most times at a discount, but they can actually make money sharing these opportunities with other people. I want you to think about how big it is when you can tell somebody that they have an opportunity to go out here and share how important it is to have life insurance without being a licensed life insurance agent, but there are life insurance sales taking place because of embedded life insurance that are being sold through websites right now. When you think about how huge it is where individuals be able to get involved with BNPL, buy now, pay later, be able to get involved with crypto, all those different things that have no knowledge, don't have to worry about a huge learning curve of putting in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in building a business, but can earn millions of dollars in income because of this business model, and the companies who are implementing these business models being able to earn hundreds of millions of billions and driving down their marketing costs because they're getting guaranteed customers that sustain much longer, especially with subscription-based products because of this. So in conclusion, you know, I believe implementing a direct sales model, whether that's internally in the company or through partnership, a company that's already in direct sales, that already has a base of customers, it will totally redefine the customer experience to reach new markets. Direct sellers have the ability to drive business through B2C, B2B, and B2B to B2C. All right, try to say that 5 times. Creating much diversity in revenue models, and we see that internally and also in other companies. In addition to driving transactional sales revenue, we also believe that this is going to cause retention to increase over time for subscription-based revenue models. You know, one of the things we're seeing a lot is a lot of these companies that are direct sales, you know, have these subscription-based revenue models that are incorporating group insurance for the platform where there are already tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, or in a few cases, millions of consumers that already have their product. And ultimately, that's driving millions of dollars, you know, in insurance sales overnight just because they're implementing that. And not to mention services are being utilized ongoing by direct sellers themselves. So any of their finance needs, any of their insurance needs are able to be met on these particular platforms. Companies will not only reach their revenue goals, they will also create life-changing opportunities for those that sell for them as well. And that's an incredible opportunity to be able to have to not only get out here to market and reach these new markets, but to change lives all at the same time. So with that being said, I'll take a few questions if anybody has any about the presentation. Thank you very much, Money 2.0.
Yep. Do you have any questions? Sorry, yeah. How can direct sales work on maybe walk us through on the real estate side with RE/MAX? In my mind, I don't really understand how that could work.
Yeah, so with Keller Williams, and I believe the other example I had was eXp Realty. Basically what you're doing is the real estate agents, they're selling homes for customers. They're actually helping their customers buy homes. There's commissions associated with that, right? So when they're in an environment where they're also recruiting other real estate agents to do the same exact thing, instead of them getting 100% of those commissions, they break it up into levels. So there's an incentive for other real estate agents to go out and build sales teams of those real estate agents, right? So they subsidize that commission throughout a certain number of levels, so then they gain a certain amount of leverage. Because if you're just a real estate agent yourself, well, when you stop selling homes, you stop getting paid, right? What if you had a team of, let's say, 20 other real estate agents, you could stop working, be on vacation, but still getting a piece of their commission because of the direct sales model that the real estate company has implemented.
Anything you want to add?
Not really. I mean, oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
Got a couple over there.
They're in there. Okay.
Great presentation. Really appreciate it. In financial sector, and especially in loans, say your home loans, and how do you directly sell the home loans to a consumer or build that level commission structure where you can get other people involved when these regulatory bodies have the system in place which stops that giving that particular advice. So what's your opinion in relation to that?
Mm-hmm. So it's all about software. In direct sales, there are companies that specialize in building multi-level marketing software. When you have direct sellers come in, you can actually structure the program any way you want it. Some have unilevel programs where they'll have multiple levels of sales agents. Some may only have a single level program where they just want to get affiliates involved and they just pay commissions to those single level affiliates. There are several different types of compensation plans. So a company can choose to either A, partner with the direct sales company that already has the software implemented. They already have a direct sales team, maybe regionally or nationwide, right? And choose to put their services and embed them into their platform, whether they're putting embeds into a website or whether they're driving it through APIs. But the thing about direct sales is a company has one single website, but it's replicated. For example, with our company, we have over 5,000 independent salespeople all across the country. If you went to our website, novemoney.com, that same website is the same website for all of our 5,000 independent direct salespeople, but it's unique to them that has a slash on the back end of that novemoney.com/John Doe. So if somebody goes to novemoney.com/John Doe and applies for a loan, or wants to look into automobile financing or life insurance, once they click that button and start going through that application, it immediately tracks it to that particular salesperson. So if there's a conversion made, the commission that we receive from the partner insurance company or the mortgage company or the finance company or the bank, we actually give them a percentage of it. Right? So we're able to drive millions of dollars in loan volume every single week because we have this entire group of salespeople all across the country, and they're motivated and incentivized because obviously at the end of the day, they're going to be able to get paid. Right? So you can build it in-house, or you can get with the company that already has it in place to reach those new markets you're looking for. Did it answer your question? Okay, fantastic.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right. So awesome. So, I'll be hanging around until the end of the day. If anybody else has any other questions about it or interested in the direct sales space, you also can connect with me on LinkedIn. Check out our site on novemoney.com. But as we have been in this fintech space for the last couple of years, and as we travel across the nation, people are absolutely fascinated with what we've been able to do and help other companies with the way they're able to attract so many different customers and from different demographics and businesses because of the model. So hopefully you all found value in this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.